Good morning, everybody. Thank you for our attendees this morning, and also PAMSo would like to thank our speaker this morning. There are two speakers this morning. One is our main speaker, which is Dr. Muhammad Hamzah. He's the committee member from Malaysia Association for Cardiovascular and Thoracic Surgery. And also our second speaker will be Mr. Teo Hee Peng from CMaster, which is PAMSo partner. And then we have our moderator this morning, Mr. Vishal Jesing from the PAMKL CSR committee members. Okay, so our session this morning will begin with presentation by our partner, Mr. Teo from CMaster Pain Malaysia. He will touch on the topic of supply and apply to projects. And then we will move to our second main session, which is our guest speaker, Dr. Muhammad Hamzah. For the topic will be your heart. Love your heart, sorry. So this is actually a medical series initiated by PAMKL. And then this session that we have this morning is a collaboration with PAMKL under the CSR committee. Okay. So next will be our sign-in code and the link that we're gonna have. You have that one, or technical? Okay. So as you can see on your screen now, this is the sign-in code for our session this morning for the PAM members to key in at the link that we're gonna provide later on. So you may jot down, and for information from time to time, we will produce this sign-in code and share at the chat box. Okay. So allow for guys, for the attendees and members to jot down the sign-in code, and later stage they can key in at the link that we're going to provide. Okay. As you can see on your chat box, we already shared the link for you to key in the sign-in code. You may do so at later stage, or you can do now. Okay. And next, I will pass the floor this morning to our moderator for a quick introduction. I invite Mr. Vishal, our moderator this morning, for a brief introduction from his side. Please, Mr. Vishal.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Salam sejahtera. How's everyone doing this morning? Let's make this session as interactive as possible. I like to make things a little bit informal so that everyone is at ease and people can have a little bit more better time while they are attending this webinar. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Vishal Jesing. And of course, I will be the moderator for today's interesting session. And of course, we have two speakers. So I would like to just introduce the speakers. But before I do and moderate the session later, just a couple of things I would like to bring up. First and foremost, you guys can hear me okay? Everything fine?
Yes.
Okay, great. The thing is that I would always like to encourage people who are online today to take as many questions, to ask as many questions as you can. You know, during the session later on, please jot down whatever questions you like. And of course, if you can, then just put them in the chat box so you can ask us directly. And of course, we will attend to your questions as soon as we can. So I think it's really important that we engage with our speakers as much as possible because, you know, we really appreciate you taking time on a Saturday morning on a nice cold Saturday like this, you know. It's so pleasant, it's so nyaman, you know, that kind of thing. And we really appreciate you coming online. And so I think it's always, it's appropriate that we take full advantage of the situation and get involved in the Q&A session as much as we can. So I hope that, I hope everyone's online right now will agree and we can take it from there.
Right? Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Vishal, for that quick introduction from our moderator, Mr. Vishal. Okay.
Yes. Should I introduce Mr. Teo Hee Peng?
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Teo Hee Peng, I'll be very happy to moderate your session later.
Thank you.
And of course, the sharing session by the PAMSo partner today is regarding supply and apply to projects. And of course, we have, as mentioned previously, Mr. Teo Hee Peng is the project director of CMaster Paint Malaysia. Okay. So I'll be very happy to grill you later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. So, okay, now Mr. Vishal, just a quick one from my side. Just to inform everybody, today is our final webinar of year 2021. So thank you for bearing with us all this while since August 2021. So this is our last webinar. So hopefully it will give you an insight of this health aspect that we're going to touch this morning, and as well on the technical aspect from our partner Seamaster, Mr. HP. Okay, so without further ado, we pass to our moderator back to begin with our first session from our first speaker.
Okay, I'm very happy to do so. So, Mr. Theo, are you ready to present?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So do make the session as informal as you like. And of course, in the questions later on, we'll be happy to ask you. But I think at this stage, the virtual stage is yours. And please do regale us this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to our moderator, our great moderator, Mr. Visha, and also our person in charge, Mr. Naim, and all. Selamat pagi dan selamat sejahtera to all. And Seamaster Paint merasa bangga sekali lagi dijemput oleh PAMSo to do a quick presentation and introduce this supply apply products to all the projects. So this is actually not the first time that we have few times here already. Beforehand, we also presented to the architects. And thank you so much for the support from the PAM Association. So now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. So so give me a minute. Yeah, is it everyone can see my slide?
Yeah, looks nicer.
Okay.
As expected from Seamaster, is beautifully colorful.
Seamaster Paint life in color.
Yeah, it's lovely. I love colors like that.
Yeah, this is
vibrant
our
and
slogan.
vivid.
Thank you. Is this one? Okay, you can see the full screen right now.
Yes.
Okay, so let us kickstart now. So I will try to present it slowly. Then I think in between it really have some question or whatever. Then maybe you can just highlight to me.
Sure, no problem. I mean, you don't mind during the presentation itself, right? If you were to ask a question, no issue, right?
Yeah, because sometimes after that moment that we forget it, what actually we want to ask.
True.
Okay, so I start now. Okay, once again, very good morning to all. I will campur bahasa Inggris and bahasa Malaysia lah. Okay, so Seamaster Paint, in fact, is already 60 plus in Malaysia. Since established, it's based from Singapore but grow in Malaysia. So we have after this range of period that we have been established and developed almost a full range of the painting products in the market that you can see. The IDA product is only launched by 2 years ago, and is the color mainly is focused to the young couple or the young people, or the young generation. So we almost cover all from the not only Seamaster but land also master now. Okay, all right. So you can see that we have this weather sheen for the exterior. Okay, for exterior, and this is the IDA. This IDA product we have the sheen. This is the sheen finish. We have the matte finish. This IDA is the self-cleaning products. It is so-called self-cleaning is because when the products dry, it will form a top layer that when raining times that it can form bigs. So the water, it won't attach on the wall. It will scroll down. So at the moment that it will bring away all the ducts. So this is the something special for this product. And this is also AIDA matte finish, just now I mentioned. Okay, with a variety of color or the color that the customer required. And this is the thin finish AIDA also for the interior. And this is for the matte finish. And this is also AIDA exterior sealer. Okay, AIDA matte finish. And this is another product. It's a road traffic product, road paint. Okay, look like painting, paint products. So normally that for the look line that they are using thermoplastic, but for this Seamaster is something very unique and easy to do it. So you don't have to heat or you don't have to use other equipment. Okay, when the moment that you don't have to heat, don't have to increase the temperature or whatever. So it's very simple and easy to apply. Okay, this is called Tola paint. The Tola actually that is used for all the basketball court, you know, for the sport, tennis court, you know, that which is on par with the international standard for the quality. And this is the roof guard. This is water-based because the Seamaster, I think, together with the architect, goes green. I think now we talk about the GBI, the GBI, so that we many years ago already obtained the green label. Or later I can show all the certificate that we obtained for throughout the years. Okay, so this is roof guard and it's water-based. And this is Icon. Is actually the metal and timber for, and it's high gloss. Okay, and this is epoxy. I think epoxy is a protective coating and is I think famous in the market, that for the flooring, you know, and for also the wall, the steel, you know. Yeah, we are using this epoxy, especially for the hospital, because it's chemical resistant. It's good. And this is a wood stain that which when you paint it, then you will reflect the wood stain or wood grains. You can see the wood grains after you paint it. So it's very nice when you apply on the wood substrate. And this is only I think we invent 2 years ago that which is called, can consider as a Istana Gold. Okay, then it's very nice. You can see that when we apply on this block panel that look like the real gold. Okay, and this is one of our current very popular and hot products called intumescent for the fire retardant. Okay, intumescent materials. Then this in the market now, I think more and more buildings are required for these materials. Okay, in order to extend, in case the building is in fire, they can extend for another 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, so for the residents or for the occupants to escape from the buildings. And we have more details. If for those who are interested, that maybe can refer to us, then we can give more details, because this is quite more things to explain. That the thickness, you know, that how long that it can extend all this. Okay, this is another good product that I think a lot of people, especially I think Muslim, Malay, then they like the color. They call special effect. Okay, the design and invented idea is from Italy. That the technique that we learned from Italy. Then they have various types. Okay, various types. So some look like wallpaper after you apply, and some they look like marble. So they have a different visual and texture that you want. It's very nice. For those who are interested, they can contact me and can come to Seamaster for practice. Okay, if you want to do some training that how to apply for this special effect. And this is some of the photos that we for the special effect. And you can see that one is called rust effect. Last time that people want to get rust away, now the people want to apply the rust on the wall again. So the zaman is always change. From the modern change to the old school, then from the old school change to modern again. Okay, this is called master granite. And this master granite is a texture paint and is very nice and have a various of colors. Okay. And mainly is for the interior. But if for the shelter exterior, is okay to apply it. Okay, just now I mentioned about this, the certification that we have a total, I think about 35 certification that we have obtained along the way of this 60 years. So I think I just, those ISO and others, I think normal that I'm not going to focus. I just want to highlight few, especially the halal paint. You know that our paint, Seamaster is the first paint in the company that obtained the halal certification. Okay, so that's why we have a slogan that for the Muslim that gunakan Seamaster paint tanpa was. So don't have to be too worry. And another is that we have the green label. Okay, I think this green label now tend to be more and more important, especially for the architect design. Because now I think the building most they are considered as GBI, the Green Building Index. So more focus on this design, okay, and this trend for the green. So it's important. Okay, and some others like ISO, like others, I think CIDB, all this one, all we have now. Yeah, we will be add more coming soon for the certification. Yeah, this is some of the quality, okay, that we provide, our lead time and our warranty. And this warranty is, I think, the main concern. Of course, beside the quality, warranty is also another main concern by the architect and also owner or developer. Yeah, they are very concerned about the warranty. And this warranty is more different from others is because we are direct from the manufacturer. So we consider for the supply apply, our warranty is considered as a performance warranty. So in the market, that as we know that many issue when happen, the paint issue, then normally that they are point fingers. Some say that this is a manufacturer fault, and some say that it's a painter fault. So when we come together, we only one entity, Seamaster, that we will authorize our painter, and they have to follow our paint system. Okay, so this warranty can be from 5 years to 10 years. It depends on the customer requirements, and this is very important. This is very important. When anything happens, it just come to Seamaster. We will take up the full responsibility. Okay, and we are as a manufacturer, so we are very concerned about our quality. So when the moment that when we apply, we will have a full system for the application. We have a full system. Although that in the market that some may offer us, want us to give cheaper and not the full system, we are not going to do it. So this is 5 main categories that we are under our warranty. Okay, the first is puring, chalking, fungus and algae, discoloration, and chalking. And this is quite common, okay, in the market. And these 5 categories is under our warranty, our performance warranty. Okay, and this is the example of the certificate that we are going to issue after we complete the painting works. Okay, the supply apply. then this is the certificate we are going to issue. And this is a testimonial that issuing by our customer, CapitaLand, for our Seamaster. This is important as a part of the SOP of our supply apply. Normally that later I can show you, we received quite a number of the testimonial from the architect, developer, or even from the committee, the management committee from Bangsa Body or condominium. This testimonial, not because we want to show to people how great we are, but in fact is a SOP for our applicator or our people to take care for the project site. So once they complete the things that we will get the testimonial, then the testimonial only will be issued when they have the good satisfaction. Okay, and when give a good practice as such, so they will issue the testimonial for us. So this is one of our SOP for the supply apply, to obtain the testimonial from the committee or from the architect or from the developer. Okay, this is another one, PSP from Singapore as well. And from our supply apply that we were code together with our method of statement. And this method of statement that which include two parts. One part is called repainting project and another is new project. Okay, then they got two parts. For the repainting, there are more surface preparation works have to do. From what we observe from the market or from the surrounding, the paint issue always happen is because of the preparation. The surface preparation is one of the very key factors, to causing the paint good or can last for longer or not. So the surface preparation for the repainting project is very important. After the surface preparation, maybe washing, fungicide, repairing, then only come to our Seamaster paint coating system, 3 coating system, 1 sealer and 2 top coats. Later you can see more details in my following presentation. And for the new project normally that a lot are prepared by the main con or contractor. So include the equipment, all the things. Okay. So for the repainting, that are more preparation we need to do, even that there's residents already stay inside. So we have to take care. We have to take care of all the residents, the time of application, everything. We have to make sure that we are not going to interrupt, okay, the livelihood over the area. So this is a difference of the repainting project and the new project. Okay, so I think this is the step that we are going to implement during the application. So the washing, repairing, cleaning, and only come to the Seamaster coating system. And this is for the painting, first coat, second, and third. Then after that we touch up for those are necessary. This is the full system of the coating. Yeah, so as a supply apply, of course, we are together, we compare together with all the color scheme. So before we start doing any painting, that we will send the color scheme. We will do the color scheme, and with 2 or 3 proposals, depends on the requirements. And after they accept the color scheme, then we will do the panel, the color panel for the approval. Then after the approval, then we sometimes also do the mock-up for the area. Then only get the approval, everything, because sometimes for the rear area and the panel is different. Sometimes you look at the color, it's a bit different. So we want to finalize the whole thing, then only we start going for the painting. So this is the process for our supply apply. And this is one of the project that we done at this Kuala Klau, Pahang for the bomber. We have the bomber, we are the bomber panel, and we have a rig color called bomber rig, 8900 994 944 994. Yeah. So this is just I think completed currently, just I think 1 or 2 months ago for the bomber rig, and this is already approved by the bomber. They are recognized, and this is, you can see that this is the letter that which is recognized and issued by the bomber to us. Okay. Sorry. Okay, and this is the coating that the spec in. First coat is the wall sealer, and the second and third is the 8900 994 for the weather machine bomber rig. Okay, this bomber rig is the rig that which been recognized by the bomber, and this is one of our CPM. The moment that when we go in for any project, we will attach together with the CPM after the final discussion with the committee or with the person in charge for the project. Okay, the owner or whatever. So we will come up a CPM accordingly to the duration of the painting works, that how we go to complete it, and which part that we are going to complete, and the full project programs. Okay, the full painting programs will be put into the CPM, and also attached together with how many painters will be equipped together to complete the project. Okay, this is all the things that will be done by us. Well, just now that I mentioned is quite general from the semester, and now here that I try to let you all see some our project reference supply apply. Some is completed, some still in progress. Okay. So let's go to see some of the supply apply. Yeah, this is one of our iconic project in JB also. This is the Legoland. Okay, this Legoland, not only that we do the architectural, but we do a lot of protective for the floor, and even for the theme park, the water theme park, underwater. So we have maintained it for more than 5 years together with the owner, the management, and the feedback is great. And we are going to maintain for others the water theme park as well, like the Sadu, So this is some of our PU outlook after painted, So look very fresh, and the color can be tanned for many years. Okay, look fresh. So this is Legoland, and this is another project, and these are all the projects that we just completed within 2020 and 2021, and this is one of the institute from Singapore called MDIS. Okay. Yeah, this is somewhere in the Edu City, Iskandar. And this project that we completed, the schedule for us is 6 months, but we completed before around 4 months, even that the time is under MCO. So this is for a repainting project. And the spec in, you can see that the internal 3-coat system, external also 3-coat system, 5 years warranty, flooring, okay, flooring, epoxy PU, or sometimes we're using PU, and also metal and timber, okay, the spec in. And this is the architect that, sorry to show here, so, but we get a permit from them, that they really appreciate the work that we been applied. So they give us a recognition, sorry, for the painting works. Sorry. It's okay. Okay, and this is another our supply apply that Bandar Tilam under Johor Land. Okay, under Johor Land, and you know that the mock-up units is very challenging because the owner or even architect and even the inspector will come and look for every corner, the finishing, okay? Because just a few units, so they pay full attention for each part. So normally that is for the mock-up is something very important, you know, that is very challenging because they use a mock-up to do their sales, so that we need to have a high cooperation with them. Okay, and this is some of the spec-in of the products for the supply apply for the mock-up. And this is another repainting projects. And this project still going on. And here I would like to highlight, we're doing this supply apply. The committee come to us, but because they also lack of fund, and they got total 14 blocks. So we start from the first 2 blocks. Then after we complete, because of the lack of funds, so we just going block by block. So they don't have to pay so much for the beginning. And this finishing also help the committee to collect back more fund from others blocks residents, because when they look at the finishing is so nice and so good, so they're waiting to pay to the committee even faster and earlier. So that now we keep on already the 7 and block 8 already. The total got 14 blocks. Now it's come to the, I think the second year. So this is also one of the good things that the Seamaster can do it. Okay, this is not CSR, but we try to do like installment to the residents. Okay, and this is the same Pangsa Poli. Yeah, this is also the same that we are doing. Okay, you can see that before and after the photos is totally different. And this is another project that we are doing for the UTM for the reservoir 10, reservoir 10. And in order to complete this project, that we have to manage to get the registration from the SPAN, SPAN, okay, Suruhanjaya Perkhidmatan Air Negara. And this is one of the registration that we have done and been approved by the SPAN for the Seamaster paint. Okay, so yeah, and this is another project, and the developer, I think in 2019 or 2020 last year, they just obtained there as one of the green developer in Malaysia. Yeah, so it's a Sutra, okay, Tanah Sutra development, and this is the seat that we are doing the repainting for them. Yeah, we're doing the repainting, and the requirements from them is very high, and most of the residents stay in require us to install the scaffolding without sound. So this is another technology we are going to implement because they say that their anak-anak semua tidur. So when the moment that we do the erect the scaffolding, they hope that we can minimize the sound, you know. So this is a challenge when we do the repainting works for the residential area. And also the car parking lot, because some of the car parking, they are work in Singapore, so they park the car in their lot. So we have to go to cover the car, you know, before we do the painting for the parking area. And this is also one of the testimonial that have been issued by the committee of the SIG, you know, for us, because we our dynamic and cooperative manner to them. Okay, they are happy, and our time duration of painting is faster than what we set for them. 6 months, then we cut to about 4 months to complete it. And this is one of the factory that we've been done in Pasir Gudang SGS. Okay, and this is one also our iconic project for the CIQ in the Sado. We just completed, I think, few months ago. And this building, because the location is near the seaside, so the system that we set up for them is more strict and must be anti-corrosion, especially for those metal structure. You can see that for the metal structure, we give them 4 coating. We applied the etching primer. You look at the metal option 2, 1 coat of the 9500 etching primer, then only top with the 7000 for the sealer, the singlet base coat. Then only we come to the another 2 top coats. So the system that we are recommend that sometimes it depends on the environment and the location of the building. Okay, based on some standard, okay, some international standard. And the Sultan of Johor been visited, I think few months ago, 2 months ago, then is highly satisfied with the building, with the finishing. Then we had issued the warranty to the owner. Okay, and this is also the architect that been issued the testimonial for us. Okay, and this is another supply apply project at Bandar Dato' Ong, just complete. And for this project is also a mock-up actually, and is 12. The total is 12 units for 2 main con, and we also need to assist them to obtain the QRASIC, to QRASIC from the owner. So they put us a very high demand of the finishing. So we need to assist them in various ways to get their point for them. Okay, and it's very colorful and very nice. If you pass through the JASCO site, then you can take a look, And this is a VX factory. And this because the panel is a composite panels, so the moment that when we using the spray method, so the moment that when we spray, that we have to take care the wing, because there's got some car parking there. So we need to be very careful, cover up some of the glass, all this and that. Yeah, so but we managed to complete it nicely for them. Okay. And this is another JKR project at Perak, Baganato. We can do all the supply by throughout the Malaysia, even include the Sabah and Sarawak. So this is one of the Baganato Polytechnics, okay, under JKR project. And we work closely, and the contractor is so happy with our progress together with them. Okay, we always work together with the contractor or the main con accordingly. And this is a project, a quite big project, Polytechnic Baganato, Perak. And this is another project from the KPKT project at Bandar Tenggara, Johor. Yeah, so you can see that it's going to complete. Now it's still in progress because of the MCO, so got some EOT. This single story, 400 units. And this is the architect's firm. Sorry to expose here that just to show that they are using some protective coating for their platform, Yeah, I think we already completed currently or recently. And this is some of the spec pin that we have been spec'ing for them. And this is just now I mentioned about the architectural pin. There's for one of our partner company, AME in Johor. Yeah, they are new building. Okay, so the finishing, the wall finishing look like wallpaper and even some texture like marble, all this and that. Yeah, this is another in Pasir Gudang for pekerja quarter, staff quarters. And yeah, they got total 8 blocks. Now they are stuck with 4 blocks, still in progress. We just complete the mock-up unit for them. They are going to 4 others. Yeah. Okay, then I got some project reference quickly. I go through, maybe I take another 5 minutes, okay, for this project reference. Yeah, so this is only supply that to our authorized painter or our trained painter. They have to follow the system as well. So they're using our paint and to paint. These are most of the town council project. Okay, town council project. And this is one of also the staff quarter or the packager quarter in somewhere in Tebrau here, or Westlake Asrama. Yeah, and this is another masjid. I want to talk about the masjid, even that the Jaim from Malacca, JAIM, that there are few masjid that is painted by us because we have the halal paint certification. So they are more feel relaxed lah. And this is also one of the KPKT project. Actually got two under Gerban, and one is in Permas and one is in Ulu Tilam. Okay, then this project still in progress, and we have our manufacture plant over the Malaysia and Vietnam, and marketing in Singapore, office in Singapore, and so do some application. So anything that you can just feel free to contact us. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's all my presentation. Yeah, Mr. Visha, I hand over the floor to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Teo Hee Peng, that was an interesting presentation. To see so many different projects and so many varieties and all that is really quite interesting.
Yep.
So yeah, I would like to thank you again for taking the time to explain to some of those examples you showed us. We really appreciate it. And a couple of things, of course, also crossed my mind. But before I continue on my side, I'd like to see whether there's any questions from the audience so far.
Yeah.
And I think there's one that came in the chat box by architect Mumtaza, I think. Let me just double check and see. Yes. So architect Mumtaza was asking, is the gold paint a green certified paint as well? Because to be honest, when I looked at it, I was quite intrigued also actually.
Yeah.
Is it green certified as well?
How about the gold?
The gold paint, yeah.
Okay, so I think for because the thing is that got some contractor also come to me. He looked at our this green label. Then he also asked me, is it every paint that you have the certificate for the green label? So I think we are not really go for all, right? Only for certain paint. Not all the paint have the green. Sorry, I have some assistant here.
No, it's okay, no problem.
So I want to double confirm. I think I can come back to the architect. Okay, maybe can highlight or give me the contact. Then I will check back confirm back the certificate for her. Okay, for the green. This gold, so-called the gold. Because when the moment that we get the green, that they have a general criteria. So whether they are go to the specific item by item, I think I have to check. I double check again. Okay.
I see.
Because I want to make sure that when the moment they use, we can issue the certificate to the person. Okay. We can have the certificate for the person. A very good question for me. Thank you very much. Okay.
No, that was
Thank
by architect Mumtaza. So I was thinking about it myself, and the gold paint does sound very interesting. And I'm actually wondering whether people actually even use it for artwork, not just painting buildings, but for artwork as well, because it's really interesting to see.
Mr. Visha, Visha, I have one thing to add on just now.
Sure.
The green actually that we are green to all the water-based and also emulsion paint. Okay, all the emulsion. Then I have to double check for those like special effect. Normally that if water-based, then yes. But if the solvent-based, I have to double check again because they are guiding with this VOC. Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
And the VOC, of course, is the volatile organic compounds, basically, right?
Yep. True.
So some people are actually not familiar with that term VOC. I mean, they hear about it, but they don't really understand what it is. So can you explain volatile organic compound? How is it a problem for people who have to, let's say apply paint and they say they don't want VOC, but they don't understand what VOC actually is?
In fact, the VOC, just now that I think Mr. Visha had briefed it, that the full terms are the volatile organic compound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from a certain country that I think they have banned, and to a certain limit, if you over, like when we do the test from the serum, that the serum, then they have a level that you cannot, when the moment that you do, especially the solvent, normally that it only happens at our solvent products. So that you only can come to a certain limit. You cannot over that limit. Then if over the limit, that it may causing some health problem to the human. So, but you are minimum less than the limit, then is allowable and consider safe. Okay.
So it has to be, I mean, whether we like it or not, there's always a little bit, but as long as there's a limit that's not breached. Is
Yes,
that right?
yes. Don't overdose it. Yeah.
Overdosage, yeah, even for buildings. Okay, so that leads me to my second question, the special effects, right? That you said you had, they look like wallpaper or they look like concrete and such.
Yeah, true.
So do you have a special group of people who come and do that for you, or can you train people to do it?
Yeah. Yes, it's definite, because we do the apply. So we not only supply, but we will apply for it. They have a certain technique and tools. You have to use some special tools, and you need some special technique. That means that at the moment that when you paint it, yeah, we have the special team to do it. We have the special team to do it. Then if the architect that it have the interest, want to know something about, then you are welcome to visit us. We can do some training for yours as well. We can do some demo and also training. Yeah.
So when you say training, you just ask the contractor to bring his workers, and then and you can help to train them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So what's the most popular pattern you've received so far? I mean, I suspect it's concrete, but I could be wrong. They want buildings to look like concrete.
Yeah, they have the cementitious effects. They have the wallpaper effects, and they have the like marble light effect, all kinds of effects, like texture, all kinds of effects. It's very nice effects. If a chance later, I can share more about the project or the photos to those who are interested. Yeah.
That's interesting. So because your colors are so vibrant and so vivid, the word, being so clear and so nice and precise, right? Assuming children wanted to, they are, no doubt about it. So assuming we wanted to use it for painting works, let's say for mural or artwork or canvas, imagine, for instance, because there are artists who dare to do things like that.
All right.
Is it safe for children? I mean, because we're always worried about them. So chemically, is that going to be a problem for anyone?
No.
Especially
for the green. Especially for the green, then it's totally safe. In fact, that our paint products now, a lot of people are using as a mural paint, paint products. So you can see that now, even in school, they have the mural paint painting wall that some is also using our products. So we no issue at all now. In fact, that our paint some good for the kindergartens, easy cleaning, all this and that. Even that some taunting or whatever, got antibacterial, got the easy wash. So this is all the product that we are design into the specific application. Yeah.
Nice. It's always good to know it's safe for everyone, especially the children.
Yeah.
So I was wondering when I saw all your projects just now, I mean, a lot of them are pretty conventional, and of course it was all very nicely done, but what's your most challenging project so far? I suspect it's the Legoland one, because it's so many, I mean, those colors are all over the place and it's so vibrant and so dynamic to look at. I think that must have been quite a challenge. Was that a challenge for you? Is that the most challenging one you've had so far?
Most challenging is to collect the payment.
I think that's a problem everywhere you go.
Yeah. So I think that the quality and also the time, and of course that the applicator, we need to train a good applicator, to to follow the code and ethics, you know. I think this is also our principle. Like when we code or we paint for anything, that we will code accordingly to the requirements, to the needs, okay, from the perspective of the environment and also the location. Just like interior, maybe per meter square is, we code that, let's say that can be 4 or whatever. Then if let's say that you don't have to use the exterior paint for the interior, so that you must use an appropriate, you know, appropriate. It's not the most expensive paint is good, you know, but it had to depend. So I think this is something important. So the current is that the challenge, I think, is the get a good painter and you know, and trustworthy. Yeah.
But you obviously do provide the necessary training, so they become better over time, I guess, right?
Even we work also together with the CIDB. Then I think for the future, we hope that our training can turn to be also one of the CCD point for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a good idea to work with CIDB on that issue.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay,
In fact, we did before.
Nice. And the other interesting thing, of course, is that most people generally don't associate paint with roof.
Okay.
The roof guard. I mean, of course, we know we have it. But sometimes when we even tell the client that she can paint the roof and it's, you know, the coating is protective and things like that, right? It's very difficult for them to accept that roofs can be painted, you know, because when they have a project, let's say a simple bungalow, right? And we tell them that for a renovation project, you know, old bungalow to new bungalow, right? We tell them you can at least consider painting the roof so you can, you know, save a little bit of cost. But it's very hard for them to accept that, you know. So what's the best way to convince them, and what is the method or statement if you wanted to paint, let's say, a simple building, 3,000 square feet bungalow, for instance, renovation? Cost is always an issue, as we know. So instead of replacing the whole roof, what is the method or statement for for painting the roof of a small bungalow?
All right. Thank you for this is also another good question. In fact, we work closely with the Borneo. You know the Borneo, the roof tiles.
Yes, of course, Borneo, yes.
Is so I think actually the committee been approached us, and we do some for them also as well. They found out that by using painting on the roof tile, the finishing is just nice as to change to a new one. Then the cost is much lower. So in fact, that before the MCO, they have come to semester want to cooperate with us, that they not encourage the resident go to change the roof tiles as far as that they can just using the coating methods. Yeah, so we have some example. After we coat it, we can turn the old roof tile be like a new one. Yeah. So after we wash it, we're using the fungicide. Then our tree coating system, it look very nice, just like a new one.
I can imagine. So do you actually remove the tiles one by one and then get it painted again, or do you just paint it directly on the roof?
No need to remove the tile. Yeah, just wash it thoroughly. It thoroughly and wash with the fungicide.
Right.
Yeah. So if possible, may do some treatment or do some repairing. Then after that, we coat with our tree coating system will do. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's basically just clay tiles and that for houses and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know, because it's, I mean, off and on we do get requests like that. I'm sure other architects have also received that kind of request.
Yep. Give us a chance to show how the technique in future.
Is it possible to do some sort of inspection before that happens, or?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, good. We definitely can keep you in mind for projects like that. I'm sure other people will be interested as well.
Yeah, no worry, just come to a FOC.
Nice.
For all the inspection.
That's wonderful. I'll definitely keep it in mind. So I have a question from the audience. Elaine Chow
Yep.
She's asking regarding the halal certificate you mentioned.
Yeah.
And just how to ensure that the halal cert is proper way to it's done in such a proper way that only C master can apply. And to be honest, I mean, do forgive me for my ignorance, but this is the first time I'm hearing of paint which is halal. So can you please explain the whole idea of halal paint and how is it that you ensure that the paint is halal when it is applied on the building?
All right. Thank you very much. This is another very technical question. I suppose I have to bring my technical head come over. Then we can explain well. Okay, actually, I have a restaurant. Okay, first is of course the ISO lah. Everything have the system. It's a good question. This sound is a good question. Everything have the system. When you have the system, just like restaurant, why they call it halal restaurant and non-halal. Once that they have the halal restaurant, that means that they have to fulfill whatever elements that which is not compliant, okay, with the system, so that you cannot consider as a halal. Let's say that you serve alcohol, then you cannot consider halal. So this is something that which they have the system. Then for paint, for this production for the product is also the same. That we have the audit from the authority, okay, from the authority. Just like how we get the approval from CIRIM, it's the same. They have a certain criteria that we must follow, and the public must trust the authority. So the authority, like say ISO, all this and that, that we must go through. So this is something very important, and we have the commitment. Then they will be audited. They will come to audit year by year. Then only they will be let us to continue the halal certificate. So if you want to confirm it, then you can ask for our certificate for the halal, that make sure that the validity is there. So it's very important. So there's some authority that as a watchdog for our public, okay, they will look after for the public, that how that we go to compliance for the system. So it's important, very important. If not, then something may happen like what we seen before, the brush, okay? You know that there's some issue last time, so there's an issue.
I see. I see. It's more towards the method of statement, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. The system that we have the audit because of the authority.
I understand. Okay. Well, thank you very much. It's something new I learned today. It's
Yep.
really interesting to see that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are welcome to pay a visit to us if you have time permitted.
Of course. But can you explain to the audience, like say if someone wanted to come and visit you, you're referring to the showroom or factory, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us, let's say you're based in KL or Selangor, then where would it be?
Our HQ is in Johor Bahru.
Okay.
Later, I can share my location to the Encik Naim, to the PAMSo.
Nice.
Yeah. So the person in charge. So anything that maybe you all can refer to them, then you can get the info from them. Okay, the location, our location or whatever, then can just write into us. Even I think PAMSo can act on behalf for those who have the interest to come over to visit us. You are most welcome.
I'm sure. Some of us are going to start doing it very soon. But next week is already the holiday season, so people are already like chuti Malaysia and all that. So
next year already.
No, but next year January, of course, just before CNY. So I'm sure you guys also are going to have some some time off to enjoy the coming year. And so you have the tiger, so maybe next year orange and black are going to be very popular colors next year.
True.
You have the tiger, I think, possible, right?
Yeah, you talk about the color also. That is, we are quite interesting to explore more for the color.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned about the color. Maybe that for the coming future, we try to kaitkan itu warna dengan treatment. So this is one of the part that we are going to explore more for the coming future. Let's say under a very high pressure office, maybe what color that is supposed to have to paint, that to minimize their pressure, especially for the architect office.
No, architects are not too difficult to please. We like dull black colors and things like that.
Yeah.
We have another question from also architect Mumtaza, and this is interesting. Do you have marine paint?
Yes.
Is that the one that was used partly in the resort, or it's for like, let's say, boats and yachts and things like that?
The Tentera Laut Delaja Malaysia, TLDM.
Right, and that's a building it's like a naval academy that's by the sea, is it?
Yeah. So they bring a hand menu of the standard Malaysia standard to us.
Right.
So they come to inspect us that whether we are entitled to be their panel for the Navy warship, okay, versus. So after that we get the full marks from them. So
nice,
I think with that you all can be confident with us.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have to make sure your paint is extra resistant to rain, nowadays, because it's been raining non-stop this past 2-3 days. I think that'll be the next criteria for next year, not just color, but make sure extra resistant to rain.
Yeah. Mr. Visha.
Yeah.
Mr. Visha. From our name, you know that we are the sea master.
That's true. That's true. that is true. But like I think you previously mentioned that you're also going to be a land master already. That's true. That's true. Okay. So I'm also wondering, what is this? Have there been any studies conducted by Seamaster in terms of the psychological effect of color? I mean, if you have a chance to propose something, do you have like a group of people who actually help with psychology of color, or basically that you supply whatever that is required? Sorry, Mr. Teo, I think you're mute, Mr. Teo. Hello. Hello. Sorry, are you mute? Hello.
SP, I think you need to check your audio again. We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Mr. Teo. Mr. Teo.
Oh, he's trying to fix it.
Okay, right. In the meantime, do we have any more questions from the audience? You can raise your hand or put them in the Q&A box. Anyone at all? I'd love to hear from the audience. So far, I've asked quite a few questions, but of course, I'm sure the audience has some questions as well. We've got a good number, 80 plus today. 89 participants. So yeah, I'm sure one of you will have a couple of good questions to ask before we get Mr. Teo back online.
For next year medical series, I think we're going to encourage the attendees to ask questions, because we're going to prepare some lucky draw for whoever asks the question.
Well, I should win the lucky draw right now because I asked so many questions today. But yeah, I would love to see that too, actually. That'd be great.
We are in the midst of exploring this new apps, new system. They call it Kahoot. Then it's a system where we can provide quizzes and all the Q&A session very interactively with the audience. So
Nice.
do hope that next year we get some good partnership with potential partners, and we can apply the system. So the session will be more interactive and interesting.
Nice. Sounds interesting.
Do we get to win anything? Are you gonna send us via Grab some food or what? If we
Definitely,
win,
we're gonna courier it to you.
Architect Mumtaza, such a Malaysian thing to say. When you want to win something, you want to win food.
yeah lah. There's a carrot at the end.
Literally a carrot. Okay, well, we'll be going for our tea break very soon in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll be back about 10:30 for the next session. Yeah. I'm hoping Mr. Teo can come back online once this audio situation has been fixed. Mr. Teo, that's a very important question from Chia Yao Ong. So I really need you back online ASAP.
I guess that is related to the marine paints. If you have it painting in the water.
Yep, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. It's probably something to do with yachts and all that.
Mm.
I actually like the idea of that rust, the rust look, you know, like cotton steel, I think it's called. Cordon steel or cotton steel, I think it's called.
Mm.
You know, when you look at the hull of a ship and you see the rust, you know, it's a
Hi,
very
Mr.
attractive
Vishal.
design feature.
I think Mr. HP is trying to fix the problem. We wait for another 1 minute.
Sure, sure.
Are you
In the
back
meantime,
on
let's
audio,
just...
Mr. HP? Mr. HP?
Mr. Teo Hee-ping, are you back? It's
Unmute.
okay in the mean.
Unmute
Sorry.
the audio.
It's okay. In the meantime, we can sembang, no problem. As soon as Mr.
I mean, that's why
Hee-ping,
it's called sea master, right? It's water master.
maybe that's where they started. As soon as he gets back online, I'll ask him.
Hey, Mr. Teo, you need to unmute. He's talking by himself.
Well, I think there's actually a lady there next to him. It's okay, no problem. I think that'll be the last question for this session. Will be the one regarding the water ponder. What's a suitable paint and waterproofing coating? What kind of element can we use if you want to just paint a pond? I suppose it also depends on the kind of pond that we want to use.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Vishal. I think Mr. HP is having problem with his audio system. So for the couple of questions that's still unanswered, he will write in the chat box to those questions. And then meantime, we'll proceed with our next agenda, the next program. So I think there's a session from the Master, or anybody who wish to ask a further question can write in the chat box, and Mr. HP will respond in writing, reply in writing. Okay. Then now we're going to take a short break of 10 minutes before we move to our main session with Dr. Hamza with the topic of Love Your Heart. Okay. So we're going to take a short break of 10 minutes. And sincere apologies for this technical glitch that we are facing now. Okay.
No problem. I think we have a little bit of time, so maybe let's give it about say 15 minutes because the next session is supposed to start at 10:30.
Okay.
So is that okay? We start back at 10:30 sharp?
Sure.
Let's take a bit of extra time. Because now that Architect Mumtaza has mentioned about makan, I also want to go makan pula.
Okay. So everybody, we're going to take a break up until 10:30. Then we're going to start our session, main session at 10:30. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, we'll be back online at 10:30 sharp.
Okay.
I'll see you, Jess. And thank you so much for the questions so far.
Great. Right.